people either love it or they hate it. They either want to give you love letters or they want to send you death threats. Venestra, I believe, was the one who caused the scarring. I think it's a bit bullshit. It's a bit bullshit to be like, fuck, man. How can you say that you're a Jedi and then go into the dark as much as you do? Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the latest episode of Acolyte. Guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Blore on Mandalore. I am so excited to talk to you today about what has been a very eventful series, be that in the fandom or not. People either love it or they hate it. They either want to give you love letters or they want to send you death threats because you enjoy it. Guys, I just want to start off by saying thank you. Thank you to every single person that was out there and being an absolute G and watched my previous video. That was insane. I was watching it just going, oh my God. Like, it went from 200 views to 300 views to 400 views. And I was like, God, I need to go to bed. I woke up, 750 views. 28 comments, and I wanted to start something just a little bit new. I've got my phone here because I did a screenshot. We're going to do favorite comments of the week now. So, to this person, sorta Mexican, this shit made me fucking cry. This video feels like I'm talking with a longtime friend debriefing right after watching episode 5. Good energy, dude. Good vid all around, and Def didn't feel like 47 minutes. What? How can you... Man, you are the GOAT. You are a real fucking G, man. That, insane. I have been parading that around work and anywhere, everywhere. I mean, if you follow my Instagram as well, Blore on Mandalore, no spaces. You would see I posted up there, and it's on the highlights. I'm so grateful to every single person that has tuned into this channel and has just, they're making what I do possible. You're giving me the motivation to post more, to do more things. I've got a lot of background videos that I can't wait. When the bloody Acolyte's done, when the Acolyte's done, I am so keen to just jump into a whole bunch of different stuff for you guys. I love you all. I genuinely really do. I really do. Thank you so much. Thank you for liking. And for those 3 subscribers that I got from the last video. Man, you're so happy. So happy. Guys, look, you know the deal. If you've seen my previous episodes before, there's a lot to talk about, and god damn it, do I ramble. So I don't want to ramble for you guys today. I've got 3 big topics. Let's separate that shit out. There's so much stuff that happened in this episode that is forgettable, but there's a couple of big things that really did shake the core of what is going to happen in the next episode. We've only got 2 more episodes, by the way. Only 2 more episodes. Where the hell is this going to go? Why is it going to go in the direction that it's doing? And are we trying to retcon what the hell has happened from the legends? That is good questions. So we've got 3 big topics. We've got Khmer, we've got Soul, and we've got May and OSHA kind of bundled into one big one. So for any of you people that don't want to hear about Khmer, which is the best part of this whole thing, and you want to hear about May and OSHA, don't know why, you could remove those characters from the whole Star Wars and they'd still be fun. And then at the end, we're going to finish with small takeaways. So guys, whatever you want to do, just chop it up. You can skip anywhere through the whole thing. I will clearly say, on to Soul. So maybe YouTube is going to pick that up. Let's start off with the boy, Khmer, one of the coolest Sith characters that I have seen in, seriously, since Vader, really. I mean, like, yeah, sure, Balin's kind of cool, right? But he's not really Sith, this guy. Oh, yeah. Throw out my previous theory about Ren. Look, guys, I was getting excited. I put out a reel for it. Like, the whole video was kind of centered around it. I was wrong. So far, I think I'm wrong. I've changed my mind. I've got to stop leaning into the camera. I've changed my mind. Peep the pants. I've changed my mind, guys. It's just, he's a Sith. He's a Sith, and he's in the Bane line. Yes, I got a comment as well. I mean, one of my other favorite comments. All of you guys who are commenting, you're my favorite. You're absolutely my favorites. I just singled out that one because it was so incredible. But I also got another message from someone. I can't remember his name. I'm such a silly duffer. But I don't like sand. Oh my God, man, I'm killer. I don't like sand. He said, oh, well, you know, if you've seen if you've seen Leslie Headland's interviews before, she was talking about how there was a Sith from the Bane line and blah, 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 blah. Yes, okay, that is Khmer and he's part of the Bane line. But I was so curious to see maybe if he kind of influenced the first Ren. You know, I mean, if you watch the video, you'd know about it. But we start off on a foreign planet. Initially, when I looked at it, I was like, tap, tap, tap. Is that Ahch-To? And I say, no, bitches. It's actually one of two options. First, it is the planet Aptros, which is Darth Bane's planet, where he mined Cortosis. That's in Legends, as well as canon. That was Darth Bane's home planet. Or we have, I'm gonna butcher this. I'm really gonna butcher this. Bal'Demnic. Basically, it was a planet that was purchased by Plagueis and Tenebris, both Darths, to mine Cortosis. Okay, it was really rich in Cortosis, but the main part of that as well, it is hidden off of all of the Jedi archives until the Clone Wars. Until the damn Clone Wars. So why did we get Unknown Planet? Well, because this one wasn't actually known until they found it for like all this Cortosis mining, Anakin and blah, blah, blah. Oh, they were all running over. They're like, oh, this is Cortosis. And they're taking down a big mining operation. So that was the last time that we saw it, but it was the first time that it was actually shown in canon to be proper in the archives. Look, I'm leaning towards the second option. This definitely feels like we're going to see Darth Venomous. I talked about this in the previous episode, but Darth Venomous, I mean, in Legends is a Bith, just like Darth Tenebris. Now, if you're wondering what a Bith is, you've got to think, it's cool. But I mean, they're not really the coolest guys out there. Someone like Khmer, oh yeah, I would 100% take a retcon of that. Just a quick little summary. Tenebris was with, he got the Palpatine. Oh my God. Guys, let's start that one again. Tenebris, he got together with a Padawan called Plagueis. Now, he believed that Plagueis was going to overthrow him, which he did. So he created a new Padawan hidden from Plagueis called Darth Venomous, a Bith. So he could keep Darth Tenebris could keep his Bith magic in with all of the same species. Is this going to be a retcon? Who knows? There's a bunch of stuff that's kind of leaning towards it. Also him basically saying his age later on. It's like, oh, well, you know, much, much older. It's like, maybe, with a Bith's lifespan, it kind of does work out. Guys, we're getting into it. Some big ones. Basically, we finished the last episode and he chucked on a coat on OSHA. And you go, oh, but what? So he definitely thinks that it's going to be May, like he's helping her out. Nuh-uh. Our boy Khmer is not as dumb as Master Sol. Seriously, Sol needs a fucking force check. Get that guy some new force goggles because he is missing every single thing that's gone up. We'll talk about him later. But May was not known to Sol, and OSHA is known to Khmer. All right, and Khmer wants to turn her dark. He's got his new Padawan. I mean, it was a theory that I saw on Beyond the Dune Sea, but I mean, they basically talked about how he's going to find someone new, his new Acolyte. May has failed. Well, I mean, we kind of have literally the exact same equivalent, seeing as though they are identical twins. Yeah, I'll just chuck on OSHA. I mean, she kind of had, when throughout the episode, they had a very similar backstory. So it does make sense. I mean, it's something that would actually work. At the same time, you could get rid of May and OSHA. I know I was highlighting this before, but you could honestly get rid of May and OSHA from this whole story and it would still work. Why are they there? I love Amanda Steinberg, if I'm saying her name correctly. She's the main character. She is the person who plays May and OSHA. I love her. She's a fantastic actor. She's been absolutely killing all of this. And she's made all of her characters believable to a degree. But do we need those characters in there to actually make sure this story works? Not really. Not as much as what they are. I feel like Sol should have been more of the main character. He is kind of turning out to be that. And then also Camille, and we kind of see both perspectives. But then again, I'm nitpicking. What would you do when it's your own show? You change everything up completely. Like, you want to have it more individual to what you like and what you enjoy. So, what can you do when it comes to that? But, he's found a replacement of May. I mean, super simple. I don't know why I'm changing it. New book, by the way, guys. So I can actually, if you've watched from the start, I've been messing around with that big leather boy. You can't really see it. And I'm just like, I'm trying to flick it around and hold it properly. It doesn't work. I've got that little round binder. Look, guys, I also want to talk about his character design. That goes down to everything, including the scarring. I'm absolutely loving everything to do with Camille's design. Like, his robes, very Anakin-esque, but also, it's something like an ancient monk. With the very pointy shoulders, kind of like Just Klein from Eurovision. He kind of has like those very sharp shoulder pads that kind of come out and then it goes back down into there with that metal kind of brooch on the back that is able to hold different weapons and so on. Love his whole design. Included in that is his naked body. Holy shit. Ugh. I think I'm getting it right. Manny Jacinto, he is ripped. And he did such a good job preparing for this role. From someone who goes to the gym, to be able to know how quickly that guy must have been able to cut weight and to look as lean and as strong as he has. Oh my God. Absolutely killing it. Absolutely killing it. It's better than that whole, I get that we're seeing him basically shirtless in an onsen. Okay. I don't care about that as much as I do Yord chilling there with his shirt off and just steaming his shit. Like, you didn't need that. This one is kind of like, oh wow, he's completely vulnerable and he knows that OSHA is there watching. Maybe kinky. Kamir is kinky. No, basically, like, he was as vulnerable as he could be. But he's, as well as, OSHA picking up his lightsaber, yeah, sure, it's really fat, but I love the design. Let's talk about what's really important, though, the scarring on the back. Kind of on his lower back. I don't know why I'm pointing to it. You guys know where his lower back is. But kind of on his lower back, you've got all of these, like, S-shape or, wiggly lined scars. And you go, man, did someone just have, like, a really bad day sneezing with a knife when cutting up his back? Like, no. That was Venestra's lightsaber. We see that for the first time in this episode. Venestra is the green lady. I called her in the previous episodes Venetian Blinds. She does kind of look like Venetian Blinds. She is honestly one of the worst characters. I personally don't like her at all. I don't like her new Padawan as well. Bit of a loser. But, she has a big light whip. Whoopsh. Go check out Mortis FM. They put out a really cool reel when it comes to the light whip. Basically, it is canon. It's a lost art, but it is an old Sith technique of making the light whip. She was called to it. She created the light whip. It was kind of like Kit Fisto when he found the attachment and, created the attachment to be able to have a lightsaber underwater. It's just adaptations to lightsabers. It can happen. It's canon. I get it. It's not the coolest being like, but why can't you just make everything kind of like that? And how do you even fight? Does it wait? I get it. I personally think it's really cool. I really think it's cool. She has a purple lightsaber, though. Why does she have a purple lightsaber? Well, because purple means that you are proficient with all forms of light and dark. It makes sense. It does make sense. Look, at the start, I was like, this is kind of specific to Mace Windu. No one else should really have a purple lightsaber except for me when I'm doing a custom in Jedi Survivor. No. What's going on? But it actually, like, all of it is... I mean, it's all logical. It's a logical path. It's a very clear transition going towards creating a lot of these character designs. But the scarring, I get so sidetracked. Here, let me get some water and let me refuel. Oh, we're back, baby. Basically, Venestra, I believe, was the one who caused the scarring. Now, this is pretty jarring when you see it for the first time. Well, you know, he's got his back, it's just whoosh, all the way down there, and you think, oh my God. Kamir's not actually a villain. I mean, I really don't think that he's truly a villain like Palpatine is, you know? I mean, this is our next Vader. I know that's a big call, but Kamir is kind of, in a way, the same thing as Vader. He was someone who was good, turned bad, because the people around him turned against him and didn't support him. Personally, I think that Venestra tortured the hell out of him. And I'm going to pull up a quote from the previous episode, which was, "You can't get into my mind." Now, why I think that is the case is because, I mean, he was talking about his Cortosis helmet, and he's like, you're trying to peer in here. You're trying to understand what the hell's going on. You can't do that shit. I'm immune to that with this on. He's talking about that because I believe that Venestra kind of like went crazy on his mind, had a little bit of a Luke and Kylo moment, like, what is he going to become? And then, you know, ignites, whoosh, Indiana Jones, and then he goes, and he runs away, and she's like, oh, you bad boy. Whoosh, oh, you naughty, naughty boy. Whoosh. Reads his mind. I spat everywhere. Reads his mind. Does all of this crap. Maybe gets into his head, kind of like Anakin, Mace, and Obi-Wan when they're on Cad Bane, you know, in Clone Wars, when they're like, I'm gonna fuck her. And he's like, get out of my head, Jedi. That was a good Cad Bane impression. But, you know, I feel like he was a Jedi, boosted by what happened here. He said, and I quote, well, I mean, we start with OSHA. "You speak as if you were a Jedi." End quote from OSHA. Start quote with Kamir. "I was a long time ago." Now, this is followed. I touched on this before. "I've never heard of you." And then Kamir responds with, "It was a really long time ago." Obviously, Venestra is up to some weird bloody tricks, and she's fooled all of the Jedi Order. They don't know about Kamir. Maybe she said that he killed him. Maybe she tried to kill him and he didn't die. I really don't think Kamir is actually that bad. I really don't. I mean, he has some bad deeds. It's like, you know, Vader going, oh, well, you know, like Vader was good in the end. Luke, looking at him, you know, I'm looking at my father, the Jedi Anakin Skywalker. I'm not looking at the person who you've become. I think in general in himself, like, he cares about the people around him. He's put a coat over OSHA to make sure that she was going to be warm enough. He healed her. He's basically, like, he even talked to May being like, you know, I care about you. You know, I want all this for you, blah, 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 blah. He's a good guy. They just forced his hand. I mean, the Jedi really did force his hand. They go, Sith boy, naughty, use the bad. And then they just basically go, he had to do what he had to do. Am I going to be a Kamir stan just because he looks awesome and he acts really well? Yes, I am. God forgive me. All right, I think he's the coolest dude out there. But, you know, I'm very curious to see what the hell's going to happen, maybe even potentially if Venestra and Kamir kind of end up in a battle together. Who knows? But that could be something really interesting. But to finish off with Khmer, let's go on to the last little thing that he was talking about when he was talking to OSHA. The power of two. Now, we know what the power of two is. It's the Darth Bane line. I mean, basically, Bane was like, no. All of you Sith here are going to fight and try to kill each other to get more power. This is not going to work. There can only be two. The power of two, the strongest powers. If he is there with his Padawan, his Acolyte, they can take over the galaxy. Do they end up doing it? Obviously not, because, well, the Jedi are still around. Palpatine, I think, could potentially... I mean, what if this is a retcon of Plagueis in itself, and this is going to be him finding Palpatine and then working out later on? It'd be a bit iffy. Because I will just say, like, you know, when you have a Legends character... Everyone loves the Legends character. Everyone knows Plagueis. I mean, that is one of the biggest selling Star Wars books of all time, if not the biggest, next to Heir to the Empire. But the Plagueis novels, like, it's a set-in-stone character. Everyone knows what he looks like. You know, when you show a photo, it's the exact same thing as the Grand Inquisitor. I can't remember the species. Like, it would be wrong to kind of avert fans' expectations and retcon Plagueis himself. He's too big of a character to be able to do that, and it will look badly upon Khmer as a character himself. Like, you know, if you're saying that this guy, as cool as he is the legendary Darth Plagueis the Wise, then people, I mean, I'm kind of on that track. It's like, well, shit. What the fuck's the point of having Plagueis there? What's the point of all these books? Like, if you're just going to retcon everything, fuck off. There's a lot of angry comments and bad sentiments towards it, and I completely understand. Just, if it is the case, I implore you to search as to why they would do it. Why would they retcon Plagueis? I don't know for now. That's for a future episode. But let's just hold on to the characters that we've got now. Khmer is so cool. Let's see how he goes. But speaking of seeing how he goes, what the hell happened to Soul? For YouTube, we're talking about Soul. Hell yeah, baby. Basically, I think Soul is a part of... He's had a dark history. Maybe he could even potentially have been on the dark side for a bit. We both know, you audience member, all right? And if it's you sitting there on the toilet, mate, you squeeze as hard as you can. You get back to this channel, all right? You squeeze, goddammit, like your life depends on it. And you wipe until you can't see anything. Basically, Soul, he has a dark side to him. He tapped into the dark side in the previous episode when he was fighting Khmer. I don't know where the hell he went. He just disappeared for half the fight and then came back and he goes, oh, I'm back, guys. Maybe he wants Khmer to take down as many Jedi as possible. Who knows Soul's intentions? I just know he's being a little bit of a poopy butt brain. For the first time, you actually get to see him close to OSHA. Yeah, you saw him before when he had the little holocom, and it was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm always thinking about her. Boom. Oh well, Soul, you know you can't have attachments. I know, but I miss her. I love her. I mean, that's all we know. And then next thing you know, all throughout the episodes, he's like, yes, civilian. Ugh, you go do this, go do that. Do you want to be a Jedi? No, you can't be a Jedi, blah, blah, blah. Crap. Like, he treats her so badly. It's just, you know, it's strange to see now him trying to be as close as possible after everything has gone bad. I think he's manipulating. Now, he didn't know that May wasn't OSHA, so he embraced May, and he says, he corrupted your sister. He pushed me into a place where lights go on. Man, I mean, no, I think lights went off on that point. Either way, the lights changed. I think it's a bit bullshit. It's a bit bullshit to be like, you know, oh, fuck, man. How can you say that you're a Jedi and then go into the dark as much as you do? Everyone knows that Luke tapped into the dark side when he was on the Death Star fighting Palpatine and Vader. Doesn't make him necessarily bad. But with the reoccurring aspects of just darkness when it comes to Sol, I can't help but think that he is on the dark side, or at least he was before. Have they lost a Jedi like Venestra's Padawan has said? Sol is powerful in the Force. He will be a force to be reckoned with. Where are they going to go from this? Where are they going to go? He was also really mad. I mean, like, in this whole episode, he was all over the shop. He was crazy. Like, his mind was just all over it. He was crying, tearing up. He was twitching. Like, there's a lot of stuff playing through his mind. Maybe it's to do with what happened on Brendok. Now, even then, he was talking to May, thinking that it's OSHA. And he says, I can't believe I didn't sense Camille. Well, he didn't say Camille, but I can't believe I didn't sense his intentions. Yeah, I can, because it's pretty damn obvious the Jedi are fucking stupid. Stupid? They had, in the prequels, Yoda, bloody Mace Windu, Obi-Wan, blah, blah, blah. I can list how many Jedi that lived around Palpatine. I mean, the darkness was there the whole time. Oh my God. I'll bring up that Count Dooku quote. You live alongside corruption and you no longer notice its stench. Man, that Dooku quote kills every single time I say it. I think that, God damn it, this shit makes sense. So if anyone goes out there and they go, well, if he couldn't sense it the whole time, then he's a damn stupid butthole. Yeah, the Jedi, I mean, even in George Lucas's Star Wars, the Jedi couldn't sense the darkness in him. So give it up. Give it up. If you think that the Jedi's the right path to go, nah, we're all Sith, baby. We're dark side, boys. Boys and girls. Maybe... I mean, I know I got one girl who listens to me. Tia Galanos, I love you. That's my beautiful girlfriend. Anyways, we finish basically with Sol, and he turns off the transponder as Venestra and the gang are trying to reach him, and then he jets it out of there. Now, I mean, it's a good thing that he jetted out of there, because the moment that he kind of jetted out, the ship comes in and it goes to the exact same spot that Sol would have been in. I mean, if he stayed there, he would have died. So either way, I mean, like, Sol's gonna make his way to go see OSHA and Camille, and he's gonna take May there, and they're gonna have some big old fight, or they'll have a big discussion. You tell her what happened. I can't tell. You have to. I can't do it. Fucking do something, man. Like, we've waited 6 episodes to hear about what happened on Brendok. I get that was the biggest, like, puller for everything. But I just want to hear it and then see another fight. I want to hear it. Let's go on to the last of the big 3, May and OSHA combined together. OSHA had a conversation with Camille, and she says, I left, and this is talking about the Jedi Order, because I chose to. Camille looks at her, dead in the eyes, and goes, are you sure about that? Oh yeah, we got a John Cena quote. Man, I mean, you couldn't even see him. But basically, we start with OSHA kind of being like, well, far out. I guess the Jedi did kind of leave me. I mean, I am alone. Yeah, Sol can find me, and he will find me. But they did leave me. Oh, wait. Is that really the case? Because later on, he goes, why aren't you a Jedi, OSHA? And then OSHA, with all this, like, I mean, Amandala, killing the game. I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, killing the game. Amandala looks out there, tears in her eyes. Because I failed. Holds it. I mean, imagine I'm holding a lightsaber. I mean, you don't have to imagine that much, but like a blade, holding right up to his throat. And then Camille, with the most compassionate, this is what makes me think that he's not a bad guy, the most compassionate eyes. He says, I understand. I lost everything, OSHA. because Camille was talking about previously how he was a part of the Jedi Order, and he's basically lost everything that he's ever believed in. He started his own thing. He wants an acolyte. He wants to turn the good and the bad upside down, flip it into something new. It's all for real. Anyways, man, I gotta stop getting so distracted. Basically, we get into the next bit when it comes to May. I mean, that's really all to do with OSHA. She's struggling with who she is. She wants to be someone who's good, but I feel like she's been leaning towards the darkness the whole time. She's not as easily corrupted as her sister. Bull fucking shit. You put on the helmet at the end. You are so easily corrupted. All he had to do was get out and show you his Sith wiener, and then next thing you know, you were like, all right, I'm on the good side. Man. I don't even know if I like May and OSHA as a character. Amandala, if you're still watching this, you're an amazing actor. But I don't know if I like May and OSHA. You could honestly get rid of them. I mean, I'm not going to get a Star Wars The Vintage Collection figurines on them. I could probably get one on Sol, but definitely one on Camille. Distraction! Basically, we talk about May. May realized that she might have been wrong about Sol. When Sol's been so compassionate to May, she's kind of looking at him and go, you're not the evil guy that I've been told about, huh? Or maybe she's just questioning, fuck, maybe I was wrong. Maybe my master was wrong. I'm not so sure that he's the worst guy ever. But that all changes. When she's had some stupid fucking lines. She has a conversation with Sol later on, and she's like, have you told me everything that happened on Brendok? You idiot. If you're a spy, you don't want to pretend that you are in third person talking about yourself, and also looking at the when he's like, oh, you always cared about that Pip droid, and she's like, yeah, this like piece of junk that I put together. Pip is so, like, he's in the worst condition possible. And she's just like, oh, yeah, that thing, meh. It's even got Darth Pip. Anyway, I'll talk about Darth Pip. But, oh, my God. Like, when I was hearing it, I was like, you fucking idiot. You idiot. Why are you talking in third person? This writing better be goddamn intentional, because, that was like, I'm not even that much of a hater. I glaze the hell out of every single Star Wars project. I'm being a little more real. Now, guys. That writing was just dog shit. I would put that on the same level as those, like, those random dudes in Book of Boba Fett, how it's like the Sin City wasn't made for you, like those guys. Oh my God, that was so bad. This writing was just, it was ridiculous, and it kind of ruined that whole thing with May. But basically, Sol, he captured May. She was taken into the back, and she was put onto that little sexy operating table. I'd love to be thrown on there. And then pick your damn words, Jeremy. And then Sol basically goes, I have been waiting to talk to you, brother. Sol's bad, May is an idiot, and OSHA is just easily corrupted. All right, I don't care what she says. She's easily corrupted. So, guys, I mean, that's going to finish that bit. That's going to finish that there. Let's talk about the small takeaways. Small takeaway, this is just going to be flash. This is kind of like, you get your main cards and you get little flash cards like, and that gets a level up and that gets a level up, blah, blah, blah. It's little things that I kind of liked in it. Let's start off with my boy Basil. I'm not going to lie. He's becoming a really cool character. Yeah, all right. He's a bit stupid, and he's meant to be that whole Grogu, just cuteness to get more people into liking Star Wars, sure. But I actually really like the tenacity that this guy has, Like, he basically set up a whole trap without being able to speak to anyone but little Pip droid. He fixed Pip, like him. But then he basically set up this whole trap for May. He sorts everything and then just goes, come here, you dickhead. Hell yeah, Basil. If you love Basil, put in the comments down below, Basil for life. That's the first figurine that I'm going to be getting for the vintage collection. If they make one, they fucking better. I love Basil so far. Absolute goat. He's the only good one on that ship so far. Honestly, I really do believe that. He's a terrier. You know what I mean? He's a terrier. He'll fight the good fight. It's not the fight of the dog. It's the fight in the dog. You know what I mean? Then we got Darth Pip. What the hell? We got a whole 3PO action from The Rise of Skywalker and turns red eyes. I don't know why they turn red. It's like not because you're just inherently bad straight away. Like it's just, just Pip, no Sith. Why the hell did his eyes go red the same way the 3POs did? And he started recounting Sith artifacts. What if Pip's there like, oh, it's the rule of two, the Darth Bane trilogy. I mean, Darth Bane line, not the trilogy. I am bad. I am evil. I'm going to take you to a cortosis mine and then suffocate you in the evil toxic gases that cortosis apparently produces. I'm making that one up. Next bit, I will say a little bit of a fucking criticism. Criticism of this episode was the writing, goddammit. Oh my god. You get nauseous when you go through hyperspace. Brother. Get rid of that kind of dialogue, dude. That shit doesn't work. That whole Marvel crap, it doesn't work. It really doesn't. Like, I mean, that whole thing was so much more serious. It's literally the downfall of the Jedi right there in that whole situation. Why are they just going, let's add a little bit of comedy? You could add it all the way through other episodes. Look, this episode wasn't really meant to be funny. This was meant to be the realization. And then now we've just got this, oh, but you get nauseous while you're traveling. Are you sure? It's not nauseous. I'm just thinking, whatever the fuck she said. I didn't really care. It's just, it kind of irked me a bit. It's just the wrong placement of comedy. Good writing, you don't think about the writing. That's all I'm going to say. Another little thing on Venestra, which I actually think is really cool. Venestra has psychometry. Now, psychometry, you're probably thinking, Jeremy, what the hell? She doesn't have a damn physics degree. No. This is what Cal Kestis has. If you've ever played the Jedi games, Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor, you'll be able to touch an object. You go, what can I sense? Oh, he's had his lips on it. Basically, you can sense the history of an object or a scene based on whatever's there. Like he could touch a blade of grass and then he could be like, oh, and then you see a flashback of like, oh my God, someone was doing that on this grass? Yeah, I know. Fill in the blanks. But basically she was walking through all of the crime scene, kind of, I'm going to call it crime scene, and she was seeing everything that happened. I mean, you got that from the audio behind, how it's like, no, you can't. Death all around her. She can sense all of this. I really like that they're adding stuff from the games. Kudos to Leslie Headland for actually being able to tie in everything to do with Star Wars. You got the sequels, you got the prequels, you got the original trilogy, you got Legends, and you've also got gaming. Love it. As a fellow gamer, thank you for adding something like that in. Absolutely, like one of the coolest things that I saw straight away that I was like, fucking back that shit. Last little bit when we talk about the writing. Let's just get into it. Come on. Throw that. Basically, I have a gripe when it comes to the writing of this whole show. Not just this episode, but it's not something that they couldn't change, It feels like this was fleshed out as this story a lot later on. Like, yes, this has been in the writing for so long, but I feel like they didn't actually formulate an idea of what it was going to be. They just had key scenes. That was an excerpt really from Beyond the Dune Sea. They mentioned this. And I just wanted to kind of forward this whole idea because it's so true. Just because the good guys do bad things, it doesn't mean that they're bad. It's really shit when you see writing that kind of makes the good guys go, oh, well, let's do bad things. And now they're inherently bad people. You can do it with more nuance. You can create stories where it's not so in your face. Oh, these are the bad guys. Like, I mean, they're taking a page out of Vader's book when it comes to Khmer. When I was talking before about him being really good and actually just kind of having darkness within his whole story of who he was, aka like the scars, the mind reading, so on. Like, it's events that turned him bad. That's a good villain. That's why he stands out so much. But it's not hard to do. I just don't like when they're kind of ruining the reputation of the Jedi by turning them into these absolute idiots. Like, oh, I can't sense that this one is actually not OSHA. Sol, that was her Padawan. That was everything to, that was his Padawan. That was everything to him, right? He knew all about her from a childhood. He collected her from this absolutely vicious knight and trained her into being someone who is more respectable. I get that she failed, but it's ridiculous to me that he wouldn't be able to piece that together. Vader and Obi-Wan were like, oh, I haven't felt that presence in a while. On a whole damn spaceship, probably kilometers apart. And these guys can't tell. She's even got a bloody tattoo right there. Look, I don't want to finish on a dark bit or like a bad side of it, because I genuinely, it's really not that bad. It's just something that I really wanted to kind of get into your heads to be able to think about. You know, maybe if you're creating your own story, if you're designing something for yourself, just make sure that it's not very clear that the good guys are doing bad things and that's why they're bad. It's just not good writing. Find nuances, find small ways to show that they are doing bad things without inherently ruining their reputation. Because now going into the prequels, you go, oh wait, no, these guys are fucked. Now we know that they were, but they showed it through all of these other inconsistencies. Like Ki Adamundi, yes, that makes sense. He was hiding it the whole time, but maybe that's small pieces in a larger puzzle that kind of muck it up for everything. Look, the future of Star Wars is still bright. I'm very excited to see all of the new projects. I just hope they kind of learn from their mistakes. They have already. On a little bit of a positive note, I mean, obviously I'm freestyling. On a positive note, I mean, they've got all of the live sets. That's absolutely something that they needed for all of it. The Mandalorian needed it more so than the volume. Like, that volume, it was cool, and it's a really cool thing to be able to use, you know, and to be able to create more stories. But there's a value in a good set. There's value in a good set. Anyways, they've done so much right. Let's just continue to see where this is going to go in the future. Let's go on to our fan questions of the week. Now, for the next couple of weeks, we are going to have the fan questions as soon as I have finished the episode when it drops. I watch it as soon as it drops, and then I watch it more times. But when I do that, I'll ask a question depending on the episode. Then you guys can respond to me. That will usually be, Wednesday, 11 a.m. AEST. No, AEST. So whatever that is in PT or ET, whatever it is. UK time. What, guys? I've been seeing all you guys from the UK. Oh, blimey. I had some mushy peas with me fish and chips. So... That was so bad. I went to the UK. Love the UK. Scotland, you're the best country in the fucking world. Seriously, you're the best country in the fucking world. Anyone here from Scotland, put it down below. That's my favorite country. I'll share all these photos. I love it. So, first question. Star Wars nerd. Was Venestra Khamir's master in the Order? Yes, 100%. 100%. Bang on. I think we're meant to think that. This is not meant to be something that's, it's a mystery. Like, I put on my detective cap and I was like, monocle time. Yeah, maybe Khamir really is Venestra's Padawan. I feel like there's a bigger bad to be able to find out later, and it's really cool writing it like that because it makes you feel like you're smart, man. I felt like a fucking genius at the end of this episode. Next one. Tales from Peridia. Guys, if you do not follow Tales from Peridia, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Turn off this video and go chuck it on. Absolutely awesome channel. Nicest dude ever. Seriously, man. Love you so much. Always will. I love his content. And everything he's been putting out has honestly been fire. And he's been getting some serious views. So go check it out. But he said, I nearly forgot the question. I'm so into his channel. Khmer is my new favorite Darkside user. Oh, man. 100%. Nothing can top Vader. I feel like, you know, when people say all that kind of stuff, they go, oh, no, but Vader. Like, Vader is in his separate category. Vader's, like, up here. He's just chilling. He's just, you know, he's beyond any tier list. Khmer is outside of Vader, my favorite Darkside user and villain in general. Next one, Ashton Sharrett. Oh my God, guys. Ashton Sharrett. I know I was talking about Tales from Prettier having a cool channel. Man, you got to see another cool channel. Ashton Sharrett has the best music content. I've never seen someone so brilliant yet so charismatic at the same time. Like usually they're so like into themselves going, square root of pi. No. Ashton is a genius and he will be able to break down everything musically beyond your comprehension. Check him out. He's the best. Said, I think Venestra's lightsaber whip is Khmer's back scars. Brother, you are right on the money. Right on the money. I got to say that, it's very clear. So let's see what happens in the future, where we're going to go. But for now, it's time to say goodbye. I don't know the Italian words, but I'm going to say, seriously, thank you again. I know I said at the start, thank you so much for all of the love and appreciation and support that you brought out. I love you all. The best fan base. I'm appreciating every single one of you. I'm keen to see what you guys think of this episode. If you've watched this far, that one's for you. And Star Wars Sith 66, you're the fucking coolest guy ever. I just want you to remember that shit. Every single time I see you, I fucking love seeing you everywhere. And if any one of you is not Star Wars Sith 66 and you need a good channel to watch, he has the best content by far. Both him and Beyond the Dune Sea set up this channel to being what it is today. I love you so much. I thank you so much for everything you've done for me and for this channel, and you do for every Star Wars fan, because you are a positive force in this community. Absolutely love you. Thank you so much. I'm done talking. I'm yapping. I'm going to go play Elden Ring. Love you all. Ciao. That was fucking cool, bitches. That was fucking cool.